having met Peter in Filthy's, and he's working there and I'm drinking there virtually every day, we got to know each other well. And then he said...
I thought you were talking about, hang on, start again. Coming from Hackney, yeah, from your girlfriends. If you start with saying, like, on Sunday morning, come from Hackney, past, and then you can just, drop that in. Otherwise, you're going to say everything twice if you do it this way around. Yeah. Like, so...
Yeah, I'd be walking home from my girlfriend's.
What? Okay.
Monday morning, I'd be going home after a weekend of passion, and I'd walk along the canal from Hackney towards King's Cross, and I'd get out just at Filthy's, which was up there, you know, up the hill from King's Cross. So I'd get out, walk past Filthy's, be about 9 o'clock Monday morning or whatever, and I'd give a shout up because Peter was living in the room above the pub. And if he was awake and about, he'd come down and let me in. And we'd have a pint to start the week. Start the week with a pint of Guinness with Peter Dury and Jock Scot. What a start to the week. But I remember one morning, particularly, he'd let me in. I was on the stool. He was pouring the pint of Guinness. And it was a wild looking pint, you know. I mean, barmen that have their ways of pouring pints of Guinness. You might pour that much, then leave it, then come back to it, top it up, whatever. But Peter gave me this pint and it was like 80% head and some Guinness in the bottom. But he hadn't even noticed. He just gave me it, and I looked at the pint and I went, Peter, the pint is like 80% foam. And you go, oh, sorry, man. Sorry, man. I just dropped a couple of tabs of acid about an hour ago. My judgment's a bit out. And this is like Monday morning, 9 o'clock. You know, so he was already pushing the limits of the envelope of outer space of his own mind, you know, then. It wasn't as if he got into rock and roll and then became a reprobate. He was already that way. He was built that way. So that's how we got to know each other initially, these quiet chats in Filthy's. And then he said, I've got a band, come and see them. And they were playing in the East End, in one of those pubs under the archways near Old Street. He was playing down there. I think it was, what was it called? Charlie Brown's...
Oh, yeah, Charlie Wright's.
Charlie Wright's.
Charlie Wright in Pitfield Street.
So I went down there to see them, and it was the most extraordinary carry-on you've ever seen. Because it was like a bar, club, dark inside, people drinking, stage set up. And the group came on, and I was about as far away from the stage as you could get. But I saw guitars and people appearing on stage and lights changing slightly. And then there was a huge fracas on the stage before a note had been played, before a song had been sung. This guy with long hair had started shouting and bawling, and there was a big scene with this sort of hippie guy before they started. The band were brilliant. It was like seeing the Beatles or something.
Was that wasn't when Scarborough Steve was in the band, was it? Wasn't
I can't remember if Scarborough Steve was in it. I spoke to Carl afterwards.
Who was the guy with the long hair?
Wolfman!
Oh, okay.
I'm like, this is really uncool. Why are they letting an old fucking hippie up on the stage when they look the part, they look great, they look like Hard Day's Nights, Beatles era, with leather jackets on.
Right.
This is a great image.
Right.
Why are they talking to this fucking hippie?
Right.
And that's what had happened. There'd been some argument which hadn't ended before they went on stage, and Wolfman was continuing the argument.
Was he in the band, or was he just...
No, he was just fucking about. I think he got flung out.
Okay.
But I was absolutely not out with the band. And although I've got connections in the music business that run to the highest level, it never occurred to me for a second I could get these guys a deal.
Right.
I just thought, well, they must have a deal. Look how fucking good they are. They must have a deal. They must have a manager. They must have all that taken care of. But none of it was taken care of at that time. They were running the group themselves. And then, of course, James Endicott from Rough Trade discovered them.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
Yeah.
And on the strength of discovering the Libertines for Rough Trade, he got sent along one night. Go and have a look at this group. They keep wanting up. On the strength of signing them to Rough Trade, he ended up being given his own label by Sony.
Okay.
This is the guy who discovered the Libertines. We signed him. He find groups for us. He find new Beatles band.
Great. Yeah. Tell me, and Shane, did Peter know Shane then at the time? Shane must have done if they from Philadelphia.
That's where they would have met. Because Shane was in there, you know, every day. Usually. Late. And Shane would sometimes arrive at 10:30.
Imagine putting Peter in charge of a pub.
And Shane's the main customer. And me.
Imagine. Yeah. Wow. So was this before the Foundry, Peter doing the poetry at the Foundry?
About the same time, because I was DJing at the Foundry on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend Helen used to DJ Sunday nights.
Right.
And because I knew Peter from Philfries, he used to come down just to hang out on a Sunday night.
Okay.
And listen to the tunes I was playing. And there was a guy, an old guy, who used to get up and perform on a Sunday night in the Foundry. And he had like a zither. He used to play a zither. And he was older than me.
That wasn't Rabbi, was it?
No, it wasn't Rabbi.
Okay.
This guy was a good 10, 15 years older than I was, maybe 20. But I got chatting to him because I dug what he was into. It was all his own material.
Right.
And he was playing the zither, and I was chatting away, you know, I like, you know, the beatniks and all that. He says, oh, I was a beatnik when they first started out. I used to live in the Beat Hotel in Paris.
Right.
Ginsberg lived next door.
Yeah.
He was always farting. It was all the health foods he ate. They were on the pot. They used to smoke the weed. He had met Ginsberg in Paris at the Beat Hotel. This guy.
Wow.
And there was Peter and me in London years later. It was passed on from that old guy to Peter. I just happened to be there DJing.
And was this before you were with the Clash, or?
This was long after the Clash. Clash is all over.
Right. Hang on, who is it?